back! White man, fight 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 back!
Mother fucking animals! You liberal, progressive, deranged fucking animals! You are so hateful in your hearts to go out and shoot a young man who's never hurted anyone.
What is wrong with you people? What an amazingly brilliant mind who wanted to make people understand and educate, snuffed out because somebody doesn't like your political beliefs. How fucked up is the...
This is such bullshit! I've never been so pissed in my whole life! I just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah! I'm so freaking pissed right now! This is bullshit! I just saw blood squirting out of his...
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us.
Tragedy or karma? That's the question flooding timelines after the news broke that Charlie Kirk is dead. MAGA supporters are furious at how little empathy people are showing. They call it disrespectful, heartless, and even anti-American. But for many, the outrage rings hollow. Because when it came to empathy, Charlie Kirk himself had none. He built his legacy by mocking the pain of others: Black people, women, LGBTQ+ communities, immigrants. And now, as MAGA demands compassion, Americans are asking, why should they mourn a man who never mourned for them?
What is wrong with you people? What an amazingly brilliant mind who wanted to make people understand and educate, snuffed out because somebody doesn't like your political beliefs. How fucked up is the world today? And for those of you cheering for this, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I need to say this real fast because no matter what social media platform I turn to today, I literally can't be on any of them. It's all about Charlie Kirk's death. And I want to make one thing abundantly clear. Not mourning someone's death doesn't mean that you're celebrating it either. And I'm so fucking angry today because yet again, this is causing another division within our country. I'm fucking angry because I don't understand. It's not about left or right. It's not about woke or not woke. It's not about liberal or Republican or what the fuck ever. It's about humanity. And today I didn't cry over a man who fueled hate and division within our country. I didn't cry over a man who didn't believe in empathy. I didn't cry over a man who believed that losing our children's lives in school shootings was just a byproduct of being able to keep our Second Amendment rights. Today I did cry for the families in Colorado. I cried for the 19 children who have died in 2025 because of school shootings and the 77 others who have been injured just this year. And today I did cry for the teen suspect that died in the Colorado school shooting simply because he was probably a teen struggling with mental health issues, but we have a fucking government and system that continues to defund and underfund mental health systems here in our fucking country. So I cry for the children who don't have a choice. And I cry for the parents who don't get to bring their children home because the government cares more about their fucking pockets and division than they do about our children. And this is what I don't understand between choosing left or right. It's not about left or right. It's about fucking humanity at a basic level. And if you only care about humanity based on the color of your skin, the gender you have, or the amount of wealth you hold, we are not a fit together. Because I care about humans across the board. I don't give a fuck where you come from, what you look like, or who you are. I care that you're a fucking human and everyone deserves basic human rights. And I'll never understand people who don't get this.
This is such bullshit! I've never been so pissed in my whole life! I just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah! I'm so freaking pissed right now! This is bullshit! I just saw blood squirting out of his neck! I love that guy! He would have been our next president! I am so pissed right now! Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it! Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people! Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed! Damn it!
MAGA outrage has a pattern. When George Floyd was murdered, when Breonna Taylor's name echoed in protests, when unarmed black men were shot in the streets, MAGA shrugged. They called it law and order. They dismissed the pain of mothers, fathers, and whole communities. But when Charlie Kirk, a white conservative commentator, meets his end, suddenly grief is sacred. Suddenly, we're told respect for the dead is mandatory. The hypocrisy is glaring. People like Martin Luther King Jr. were assassinated for fighting for equality, their deaths met with celebration in white supremacist circles. Yet Charlie Kirk, who weaponized his platform against marginalized groups, is being treated by MAGA as if he were a martyr.
Let me be clear, I'm not a white Christian nationalist sympathizer or apologist. Please don't tell me about your Christian love when Charlie Kirk was a voice that you idolized. Charlie was a racist, homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic, xenophobic, hateful bigot. There is absolutely no hate like Christian love. Charlie Kirk was not a good person. Now, I'm a firm believer that no person is all good or all bad, but he continued to spew hate guised as Christian love. I'm not grieving the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm grieving the current political climate in the United States of America. I'm grieving the politics of white supremacy having a stranglehold on this great nation. I'm grieving the ignorance of white Christian nationalists not understanding how their rhetoric causes harm to marginalized communities. I will continue to condemn violence in all forms while simultaneously calling out hateful bigots. I will never be a safe space for Nazis. I will never wish death upon anyone, even Charlie Kirk. This isn't a time for celebration. This is a time for grieving. And the way that you grieve and the way that I grieve will likely be completely different. I'm grieving the ignorance of this nation. You're grieving the death of a Nazi.
Charlie Kirk wasn't killed in San Francisco or Los Angeles or Chicago or Baltimore or even Washington, D.C. or any other city that Donald Trump says is violent. In fact, he was killed in Deep Red, Utah, in Orem, Utah, which is in Utah County, that voted 68% for Donald Trump, 9 points higher than the 59% that Donald Trump carried the entire state of Utah with. And he was most likely killed by someone who looks just like him, a white man. How do we know that? Well, of the 3 suspects, the 2 they've already released and the 1 they're still looking for, they were all white. And we know that one of the ways the shooter was able to get away so quickly was by blending into the crowd. And see, Utah County isn't exactly a diverse place. It's 83% white. You realize that's one of the reasons they're so upset. You see, they thought they were safe in their red states with their permissive gun laws, surrounded by people who look just like them, because they've been told that the people they need to fear are the ones who don't look like them, who aren't like them. And then yesterday they realized that some of the people who look like them, that are around them, don't necessarily think like them.
To understand why empathy is scarce, we need to confront Kirk's own record. He said he didn't trust black pilots. He pushed for abortion restrictions so extreme they endangered women's lives. He mocked George Floyd's final moments, sneering at black grief. He even went so far as to say black people were better off as slaves than living free today. He called Martin Luther King Jr. awful. These weren't isolated slips. This was his worldview, repeated and reinforced over and over. Many say Kirk's rhetoric was more than just cruel. It was stochastic terrorism, fueling an atmosphere where violence against marginalized people was normalized. And now, in death, those same communities are refusing to rewrite his legacy.
Fucking animals! You liberal, progressive, deranged fucking animals!
Hey sis, so you seem really emotional right now. And I personally think that it is worth it to have the cost of, unfortunately, a few pew-pew unalivings every single year so that we could all enjoy the Second Amendment. Do you think that sounds harsh? It does, because that's a Charlie Kirk quote. So maybe he took one for the team. You thinking that the left are animals and violent, and then now you suddenly want empathy for Charlie Kirk? Please.
A young man who's never hurted anyone.
I mean, I wonder what could have inspired someone to do something like this. Could it have been his bigotry against the LGBTQ community? His racism? Oh no, his constant stream of harmful, misleading trash and anti-woman nonsense. And as for empathy, didn't he also say that he thinks empathy is the new age term that does a lot of damage? I don't condone violence of any kind, but Charlie did, and he made that clear that he was okay with it. And I sure as hell don't have empathy for someone who openly admits that he doesn't have empathy for anyone else, and I'm pretty okay with that. Now, as for you, did you have the same outrage and anger on January 6th? Or when the vast majority of mass unalivers are cis straight men? Or when Republican extremists pew-pew churches, schools, and Walmarts? Didn't think so. Where was your outrage then? Oh, that's right. You people are only upset when it affects you personally. Hypocrisy looks good on you, sis. Thoughts and prayers.
Right before Charlie Kirk got popped, someone asked him, "Do you know how many mass shootings have happened in America in the past 10 years? He replied, "Counting or not counting gang violence." Then pop, he was about to shift the blame for mass shootings on us. And now for some reason, 8 historically black colleges and universities are under threat. Campus lockdowns and all. All this because Charlie got popped in Utah, where the black population is 1.2%? What is it about whiteness that y'all can never blame yourselves? How did you come to the conclusion that you are as sinless as Christ himself? And now they want to put a statue of Lil Charlie in the U.S. Capitol, comparing him to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Do you know what school Lil Charlie went to? That would give him the authority to speak on religion, to speak on race, to speak on politics. No, you don't. Because Lil Charlie dropped out of Harper College in Chicago. His first claim to fame was stopping a price increase on cookies at his high school. You can't make this up. Then he wrote an article for Breitbart, alleging liberal bias in textbooks. That affirmative action him an appearance on Fox Business. This is your king? Because the only one I know is Dr. King. PhD in systematic theology from Boston University. The one who wrote 5 books, who electrified the masses, and didn't have to cut his speeches into clips to do so. See, what y'all not gonna do is conflate these two legacies. Because Dr. King challenged America to live up to the democracy it claimed to be. Lil Charlie, he just repeated fascism, Christian fundamentalism, without critical thinking, might I add, misogyny, really anything that got him paid. America, not only are we not your scapegoat, you really don't even deserve to live in our shadows.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. White supremacy has always controlled who gets empathy and who doesn't. When a white man dies, especially one with political influence, sympathy is demanded, tears are expected, and any criticism is condemned as disrespect. But when black leaders are assassinated for daring to demand rights, their deaths are justified, mocked, or ignored. It's a double standard that defines America. Charlie Kirk's death exposes that hypocrisy in real time. His supporters cry tragedy, while his victims remember his words and call it consequence. Empathy, it seems, has always been a privilege in America, and for many, Kirk never earned it.
In case you're new here, I want to make it very clear where my husband and I stand in all of the chaos that is happening here in the United States. And I'm going to say it one more time. We stand with marginalized people. We stand with black people, Hispanic people, trans people, gay people, Muslim people, anyone who is being villainized in this very moment that you can think of, we stand for them. And I am tired as a white woman not seeing enough white people calling out the bullshit that is happening right now. If you've got black friends, Hispanic friends, trans friends, gay friends, and you are being quiet and you are not calling out other white people when they start saying racist, transphobic, Islamophobic, any kind of horrible remarks, you are equally a part of the problem. We do not need to let other people be comfortable in their hatred anymore. It is our job as any progressive white person to stand up and call out bullshit when we hear it and to make these people feel uncomfortable enough to go back into hiding or to second guess the things that they are supporting, doing, and saying. And no, we do not have to be close to these people, stay friends with these people, have relationships with these people if they are continuously saying things that hurt marginalized people. I have seen too many white people, the minute their black friends aren't around, feel comfortable enough to sit there and listen to some bullshit that their friend might have to say that is racist and not stand up for their black friend. And then you wonder why black people don't want to fuck with us anymore. I am no longer going to not say anything to these people and be quiet. There is nothing okay with what is happening right now. And so if you are new to my page and you have started following us, I just want to let you know right here, right now, one more time, because I said it a few weeks ago, that this is where I stand. And if you come on this page and you spew any hate or any bull crap and you start talking about these other people, these marginalized groups, and you have no facts that even back up what you are saying other than Fox News, I will block you. That is it.
So was it karma? Or was it simply consequence? Some online say his death is cosmic justice, the universe balancing the scales. But maybe it's more straightforward than that. When you spend a lifetime dehumanizing others, you cannot be surprised when others see you as less than human in return. When you mock the deaths of black men, when you dismiss the struggles of women, when you vilify queer communities, you cannot expect compassion when your time comes. This isn't about celebrating death. It's about refusing to forget life. Charlie Kirk lived a life where empathy was a weapon he refused to wield. And in the end, people are only giving him what he gave them. Nothing.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
Another one? Well, thoughts and prayers. Well, that's the price we pay to have gun freedom. Or my personal favorite from the president himself. We're just gonna have to get over it. No! The horrors of it all! Oh my God! Are you people just animals? Where's your civility? Where's your empathy? Where's your humanity? No, you killed him. Let it be known that I do not condone violence, nor do I want to see, or do I celebrate, the existence of a reality where things like this occur on a daily basis. I do not celebrate it, but I do recognize, observe, and point out to you the absurdity and the irony and the hypocrisy in the imbalance of your empathy towards the school children who endure this on a daily basis in this country versus a man who called these things to himself, who targeted people and who fought fire with fire, so to speak, who lived by the sword and died by the sword, so to speak, who you're more outraged by the fact that he suffered at the hands of something that he helped stoke the fire on. But you're not outraged by kids who just wake up and go to school every day and suffer by the hand of it. So this is just my dramatic attempt to point out that hypocrisy. And to say that no one is celebrating, well, I'm not going to say no one is celebrating. There's disgusting people that find pleasure in the craziest things. But you can't expect people to get mad at the bear whenever it's poked so many times and it turns around and bites the finger that pokes it.
I still remember watching the footage of George Floyd's murder in 2020. I remember the protests, the tears, the exhaustion in the eyes of people demanding to be seen as human. And I also remember the laughter, the memes MAGA shared, the cold indifference. I remember thinking, how can anyone mock grief like this? That memory sits heavy now, as I hear MAGA demand empathy for Charlie Kirk. It feels like déjà vu, except the roles are reversed. Hypocrisy is exhausting. And if this moment teaches anything, it's that empathy cannot be selective. If you only extend it to people who look like you, think like you, or share your politics, then it isn't empathy at all. It's control.
Okay, let's get something clear. Nobody deserves to die for their political opinion. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die for having a political opinion. Now, I don't agree with him. I'm sure a lot of you don't agree with him. It doesn't mean he deserved to die. But I really want you to ask yourself this question. Who had the most to gain from Charlie Kirk's murder? Was it the left? Because most people on the left are very anti-gun, very much like empathetic, don't want war, don't want fighting. Why would they do something that they know the right is going to retaliate on? Makes zero sense. He wasn't a political figure. Taking him out wasn't going to change anything. It was only going to piss people off. And that's exactly what happened. Within minutes of it happening, the flag went to half-mast despite it not going there for senators being murdered or school shootings or anything. No, they put it down for Charlie Kirk because they wanted to send a message. And they did. The president got on with his very AI-looking video and talked about the radical leftists, the liberal terrorists who caused all of this. And then you have Fox News. Fox News was right on top of that, calling them liberal terrorists, saying this is war, and that they declared war on the right. So think about this. Nobody on the left declared war on the right. One person got on a roof and fired a shot. Nobody knows who it was or what his motive was. You can sit there and say he was a radical leftist, but it's still one person, not an entire party, even if he was a radical leftist. But he could also have been a planted hire. Charlie Kirk himself made a post saying that he feared Israel would try to kill him because he was speaking out against Israel. He was also one of the biggest advocates for releasing the Epstein files. Despite the fact that he was a huge Trump supporter, he himself said that he demanded them to be released and was not letting it go. There were a lot of people who had a reason to execute Charlie Kirk, none of which were on the left. So you need to ask yourself, is this really a leftist, plot to start a war with the right, or the other way around? Because people like Peter Thiel, they have a lot to gain from someone like Charlie Kirk being assassinated. Read Project 2025 and tell me I'm wrong.
Charlie Kirk's death isn't just about one man. It's a mirror held up to America, exposing double standards, selective empathy, and the dangerous hypocrisy of white supremacy. The challenge now is for us, the living. If you want empathy when you're gone, give it while you're here. If you want respect in death, live a life that respects others in life. Otherwise, the legacy you leave behind won't be mourning. It will be a reminder of the pain you caused.